Northern Beaches Council would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of these lands on which we gather, the Gayamargal and Garigal people, and show our respect to elders past and present and other Aboriginal people here today. Thank you for your interest in Northern Beaches Council's Community Grants program. We run several different grants that vary in focus, and this video is intended to give general application advice rather than focus on one specific grant. The aim of all the videos on the Grant Resources page on Council's website is to help you draft a strong application and to answer some of the most frequently asked questions we get when people decide to make a grant application. You will find additional resources and information on our grants webpage, and we encourage you to have a look at these before starting your grant application. The following section will explore what an acquittal report is and why it is required if you are successful in receiving the grant funds. When writing your grant application, you should begin with the end in mind and consider the evaluation of the project and the reporting requirements of the grant. Evaluation is something that needs to be carefully considered in the planning of your project, as it is not only the key to measuring its success, but also key to future successes. In the long term, good evaluation builds your capacity to apply for future funding, as well as help attract future funding partners. In order to evaluate your project, you will need to develop outputs and outcomes. These will help to measure the success or failure of your project and demonstrate its impact. On Council's Grant Resources page, you will find a video and presentation dedicated to helping you understand outcomes and outputs, setting goals and objectives, and evaluation tools. Please ensure you have a look at these resources before making your application. The evaluation you complete as part of your grant-funded project feeds into the acquittal report you will be required to do at the end of your project if you are successful in receiving funds from Council. An acquittal is the process of evaluating and reporting on the outcomes of your project and the expenditure of funds provided to you by Council. Grant acquittal reports are required on completion of your project and are used to confirm the following: that the funding has been used for the purpose intended in the funding application and to demonstrate the terms of the funding agreement have been met. For you as the applicant, acquittals are also a useful way to assess a program's operations, efficacy, and strengths and weaknesses. The acquittal is an important document as it becomes part of Council's reporting too and helps us to achieve our goals as well as yours. Your report should describe the activities and impact of your project against your objectives. Your aim is to ensure that Council as the funder has a good picture of what happened, how it happened, and why it's important. An acquittal template will be provided by Council on the Smarty Grant system. The types of questions in an acquittal are: did you achieve your project goal? What were the results of the project? What changed as a result of this project? Was the project worthwhile? Why or why not? What were the lessons learnt? Is there anything you would do differently if you did this project again? Did you have the right level of resources? Has the project added to the evidence base that may lead to future funding or a new project? The financial section of the acquittal requires you to account for the funds you were given and how they were used. A practical way to do this is to add a column into your budget spreadsheet that shows the actual cost of each item against the budget estimate. This also ensures you only spent the money as you said you would in the application. You will also be required to submit your receipts and invoices for the project as proof of your spending. Ensure you keep all of your receipts and either scan them or take a photo of them on your phone. Council knows that things don't always go to plan, But don't let the acquittal be the first time we find this out. If your project has gone off track for whatever reason, it's good practice to let us know. Council wants you to succeed and can sometimes vary your funding agreement if necessary. Just don't leave this discussion to the last minute when acquittals are due. If things go astray, seek our advice early. This brings us to the end of this guidance video. We hope you have found it useful. On the Grant Resources page of the Northern Beaches Council website, you will also find our videos and presentations covering budget preparation, understanding outcomes and outputs, incorporation, auspicing, choosing council goals to align with, and child protection. Our Grant Guru tool, Grants Hub, which is an online service to help you access opportunities Australia-wide, a link to a Smarty Grants help guide for applicants and frequently asked questions, a table illustrating Northern Beaches Council's grant offerings, a grants application checklist to help ensure you have completed all steps in the process. You will find the grant guidelines and Smarty Grants application form for each grant program on the Grants page of the Council website. We look forward to receiving your application soon.